Hey guys, Trigger John coming at you with another Awaken Chaos Area video. On today's video, what we're going to be talking about is going to be the stun set. And when I say stun set, I mean the rebel set. Where to go farm it, how to acquire it, where are the areas of the game that you're going to be able to use this set, and what particular characters are going to be really impactful to have with this set. All right, so we are back at it. Now, I know a lot of people have had a lot of questions about what is the rebel set, where would it be useful, and what characters really shine with this. Now, I want to preface this by saying I have just recently gotten the rebel set. I've been able to unlock it and get good pieces of the rebel set. So I've done a lot of testing throughout the game just with leaving it on certain characters. I'm finding that this set is extremely impactful and it may be actually broken as far as the percentage says. So let's pull it up and let's talk about it. All right, so I do have Imogen pulled up. She was kind of my controlled test unit, so to speak. I noticed that she was extremely impactful and a prime candidate for the rebel set. And the reason being is because the rebel set has an attacks have a 20% chance to stun the enemy for one turn. This does not limit it to once per their turn or anything like that. This literally procs anytime they attack. Now, for those of you who do not know Imogen, I do have a spotlight video on Imogen. Don't go check it out. That'll kind of help you a little bit on understanding Imogen. But in that video, I even talk about how she's going to be a prime candidate for this particular set, and that's because she has this passive. When she attacks, she has, or she's going to launch a joint attack and do a bounce around effect. So each time she does one of those attacks, she then has a chance to place that stun proc. This makes her, honestly, in my opinion, probably the top. I would say she's number one candidate for a rebel set. And candidate number two, honestly, is probably going to be Crazed or Corrupt Rock. He's probably candidate number two, and that's because of this darkness approach ability. This allows him also to give you a chance to stun the enemy without even attacking. So he's definitely number two. Imogen, in my opinion, is number one. Do not get discouraged because I'm only listing light and dark units. That does not mean that you cannot use other units for this set. So let's talk about it. And the things I want to note here is this set has to use focus. So you definitely want to pair this set with a champion that's okay to have a lot of focus with, right? You don't want to go, okay, well, I'm going to use this rebel set and I'm just going to, throw it on anybody and they're going to stun, because that's not going to happen. What you have to do is you have to make sure that you have enough focus for this to proc, right? This can get resisted, so you really got to scale it up there. I have a lot of focus pieces right now that I'm using for my rebel set, because I'm using rebel set in a lot of the in-game content. Like, for example, I cleared Void Tower Hard 100. I did this very easily, and the reason why is because I had Imogen in a rebel set, and she synergizes because she had to have focus to remove one positive effect from all enemies. Because of this effect, I was already gonna give her focus, so she was an amazing candidate to put the rebel set on, because you want to be able to just synergize, right? You guys know me, I'm all about the synergy. I'm all about, let's figure out what team cops are going to work together, what champions, even if they're like not necessarily best in slot, but that'll work well to synergize to create a comp that'll work for you, right? Because of that, I already was going to give her focus, so it worked out amazingly to have her in a rebel set. Now, if you are facing arena opponents, for example, you're not going to have a whole lot of resistance on your arena champions, right? Some will, some won't, so you don't need to necessarily have as high a focus as what I have. Mine's just built like this because I run her in the Void Tower. We will also do a showcase, and I'll show you how often the stun set actually procs, so that way you can see if it's worth it for you to know about or farm it. But the other thing to note is the characters that are going to be really good to use rebel set on are going to be characters that are AoE damage dealers that put on some sort of debuff. Now, like, for example, Corrupt Rock is amazing to have it on because of this passive. So every round he gets a chance to proc it. as well as he once again has removes all positive effects from an enemy and then deals 100% damage. Now granted, yes, this is one singular enemy. However, at the start of each round, he does do that damage and gives you a chance to proc that stun. That still makes him okay because he's doing some sort of an extra mechanic that requires focus. And as you see here, that's really it. That's really all he's doing. But because of this mechanic here, it does make it worth it because then you can do a strip, right? The next character that we're gonna kind of talk about that's gonna be amazing for this set also, honestly, I think Boolin's gonna be a good candidate for this. And this is because when a teammate attacks, gives self 1 rage. Once rage reaches 5, immediately casts a special ability, joins attack. So she's gonna proc off and do multiple attacks, similar to Imogen's story. And you're already going to be, if you're using a Boolin, you're going to be using induction, right? So you're already kind of pairing that with it, and it's a 4-turn cooldown on an AoE damage deal, so this gives you a chance to do more stuns right off the rip. Now, and she also has a strip, so you're giving her a lot of focus anyways. This doesn't mean she's like the best one to use for this. This is just a good example because she has the chance to do a similar mechanic as Imogen. Another one that we want to talk about and bring up that's going to be really, really good to be a candidate for Rebel set, honestly, is going to be Brand. Now, before you say anything about this, I want to point out a couple of things. So Brand is a great candidate because one, he has abilities that that proc a debuff, right? He has a attack down that he can proc. He has a taunt that he can proc. And that's really about it. But with that being said, he's going to cleanse your team. He's going to put buffs up. He's a support unit. So really, you're not building him for damage anyways. And you're really just building him for HP, for his shields, and for the tankiness, right? Because he's an amazing support. However, if you're already using him and kind of relying a little bit on that attack down that he's going to place in the counterattacks, if you were to, say, put him in a Rebel set, then that means every time a character attacks, he does a counterattack. And that makes up for him not being an AoE champion, right? He's not a AoE damage dealing champion, like I said, for everyone else. So he kind of breaks the mold because every time an enemy attacks, he will do a counterattack, and that gives him a chance to proc the stun. So this is also a very viable option, say in the Void Tower, where you're really struggling. And usually if you have a 3-wave, the second wave, you're fighting about 5 enemies, right? So this gives you, you know, at least 5 chances to proc that stun on the enemies when they go to attack. CC is great. And the other thing is this also synergizes with his taunt. So not only does he have a 50% chance to taunt, but he can also do the 20% chance to stun. So between the two of them, he can do a lot of CC for you and a lot of crowd control. And you're, like I said, you're already giving him focus. So he's definitely a good hitter, definitely a good option to have that set on. There are other ones. We're not going to go ahead. We're not going to break them down, all of them anyways. But essentially anyone who is an AoE damage dealer that has some sort of a debuff that you're gonna put focus on anyways is a very viable option for the stun set. Now, and I do keep calling it the stun set because, well, I'm from Raid Shadow Legends and that's what we call it. Even though it is a Rebel set here because that's what it's called, that's what I'm gonna refer to it. I do apologize. But let's show you where to use this set, okay? So one place that I use this set, and I like to use it, and I don't like doing this content. I think I brought this up before. I'm not a huge fan of Endless Trial, but I do it because you gotta have those charms, right? You need those to upgrade your characters. And the gear is, oh, you can't argue, the gear is pretty decent that you get sometimes. But anyways, Rebel set is great for this one if you're really struggling. If you are struggling and you can't just one-shot the waves, Rebel set is pretty nice to just come in here and destroy everything. For example, I use Brand, Imogen, Valeria, and Avera. Now, the reason why I do this is because I don't have to worry about anything with this particular composition. All I do is I come in here, I auto it. What happens is Brand goes fast enough, he throws up all of his buffs. Imogen goes in, you're gonna see Imogen, she should proc some stuns. Let's see if we can't slow this down here for just a second. Oh, we missed it there. We missed to see if it actually procced any stuns. But the note, there we go, there's a stun because the joint attack there gave us a stun. So the enemy CC'd. We took 0 damage on that run, other than Valeria because she used her ability, right? That's 1 out of 4. It's a pretty high chance. And honestly, as I was doing the Void Tower and testing out Imogen with this set, I was noticing that the more and more attacks that we did with her, the more and more damage that was getting done, that was pretty broken in my opinion. It was really insane. Not only would she do a lot of damage because of the way her passive worked, but she would do all these stuns and it would allow us to take no damage. So this allowed us to have teams better set up. We're getting massive amounts of stuns, which is just insane. So like right here, you'll see we got a stun again. Valeria got stunned. Now this is not everyone's wit yet, so now Valeria's gonna go. If she doesn't nuke them down, there's another chance for everyone to get stunned. You know what I mean? So she's just bouncing around stunning. So there we go. There's another stun. That's 2 stuns already in this one fight. And this is what the Rebel set can kind of do for you. I know this is kind of like also a hashtag / showcase on Imogen as well. But I just wanted to bring this up because I thought, honestly, in my opinion, she's like the best character to use this set on. And if you don't believe me, I mean, this is 2 fights in a row where we haven't taken any damage because we've CC'd the entire team, right? So it definitely has its merits. It does take some sacrifice with that focus though, but like I said, as long as you're synergizing the characters that you're putting this on, you are doing a really, really good job of maintaining a immaculate set. Now, Void Tower was the other spot, and like I said, I would not have made it to Void Tower. We are on Mythic right now. I would not have made it to Void Tower Hard 100 had I not had the Rebel set. It is super, super impactful in the game, and it's insane. Now, the only thing I don't like about this set, and I will admit it, and I will freely admit it, it is a paywall. Okay, this set is hidden behind a paywall, and I say this with love because there are very few teams that can do Gemini Dragon and get the Rebel set. Unfortunately, this set is hidden behind this particular dragon. If we pull up and we show the combinations here, there are a few combinations that do not use Gangello, but they're very few and far in between. Most of them, oh wow, it doesn't even show the comp that I was wanting to talk about. There's an Akobi, depending on how you pronounce his name. There is a comp out there with him, and with actually this team right here, only with Valuk instead of Akobi. That was probably the only comp really you can do Gemini Dragon 12 on successfully. And it's really hard. It's not easy at all. The gear is kind of particular. I think you can also, yeah, you can run this MSB comp, but this is like I want to say it's like a 10% win rate. It's very, very low, but I guess it does work for you. So this is what I mean by this is definitely a paywall. Unfortunately, I wish it wasn't, but it is what it is. Hopefully as time progresses, we get more characters that'll just kind of knock this out of here, and we no longer have to do these insane comps with only using Gangello. So I hope that kind of helps you understand where you can get it and why it's impactful to push into this content. I would definitely rate Rebel set. It's kind of up there. It is up there as far as rarity goes. I know I do have a tier list. Actually, let's see if I can't pull that up, where I talk about where Rebel gear is actually ranked at. It's not, like I said, it's not the highest ranked set, but as far as like beating harder content, it's definitely well worth it. The other thing to note is obviously Arena. You guys know that Arena, it is Arena, right? By bringing in Imogen here, I always have a chance to CC the competition, as well as I always bring in the Tia anyways to freeze everybody. I'm all about the CC, but unless that stuff like that happens, right? That doesn't work out very well for me. This is a bad team to hit. But notice that she pocked around and we got 2 stuns already, and this is just in the arena. So this is other content that's going to be more relevant. There we go. We've got 3 stuns. There's actually 4 stuns. Hydrosia just came out of it, but we're doing all the CC on these characters, and we're doing it just fine. Because notice Imogen can't strip because she's silenced, but she's still applying those stunts. I could keep making a case for this set. I really could, but I think at this point you kind of understand what I'm talking about, and you can see the value in it. I hope you do see the value in it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope I have mentioned it to Ace. I've mentioned it to the devs. This set should not require focus, and I understand a lot of you will rage and say you are wrong. I personally disagree. This is a 4-piece set that takes up a lot of damage potential, a lot of any other potential out there. It should not require focus, and you can fight me if you want, but hopefully they change that, and I hope they do, and that'll make this set even better. But for now, I hope you guys take this and you can apply it and go have some fun. It's a lot of fun. It's just pleasing to watch everybody get stunned. Also, another champion that I forgot to mention that'd be a really good one is be Lunar Melissa. She already does that taunt, but she's another one that'd be really fun to do with that stuns, because depending on how you use her and where you use her, just AoE. So not only will she do a taunt, but she could potentially just do a stun, so she doesn't take any damage, right? Like I said, very good set, very fun set, very practical a lot of places. Just gotta make sure you get that focus. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments down below, are you using Rebel set? And if you are, where are you using it? What characters are you showcasing it on? And yeah, can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Peace.